A nasty thing from my son. Part 2. After learning that her son had a mistress, Patricia lost peace for a long time. Her conscience was in turmoil. Why had she agreed to cover for Harry with that fishing trip? Guilt before her daughter-in-law was tearing Patricia apart. And the son was happy, thinking that he had fooled everyone. He was sure that his mother was not aware of his adventures. Patricia began to nag her husband. Well, talk to Harry like a man to a man, eh? Tell him that we know everything, and that he dare not bring anyone into our apartment, and in general, demand his keys. She herself did not dare to have such conversations. She was afraid of her son's offenses. Her husband sat and smoked with the look of a philosopher. He'll get on and get over it, leave him alone. Quite common for a man of his age. A man is a man. If we get involved, we'll get blamed for it, mark my words. Don't you hate the fact that he's in our bed with some strange girl? Let's just change the underwear, that's all. How do people live in rented apartments? Can you imagine how many of them are on those couches? Don't be a prude. Patricia looked at her husband like he was crazy. Zero squeamishness. And besides, he talked as if he'd been a whore himself, but that wasn't the point now. She sat next to her husband on the porch, not even bothered by the cigarette smoke wafting in her direction. If Gloria finds out, God forbid, Patricia trembled at the thought of her daughter-in-law, she'd be his. I dread to imagine. You don't have to imagine. He's a fool if he finds out, so stop wiping his ass. But Patricia couldn't calm down. The children were there. She began to dream of scandals with her daughter-in-law, culminating in the following scenes. She was sticking a knife into her daughter-in-law's chest, slowly and with difficulty, with weak and cotton hands, and Gloria did not resist. And also shots from a heavy gun at point-blank range. What gun? She'd never seen anything like it except for her son's toy gun. Then Patricia woke up in horror and could not sleep for a long time, climbing into the internet dream books, trying to decipher the games of the subconscious. Why does she dream such abominations? She is good and does not wish Gloria harm. Is it deep down, afraid to admit it to herself, she would like her daughter-in-law to disappear from Harry's life? Like any mother, she wanted her child to be happy first and foremost. Patricia did not support the fact that her son was quietly walking away from her daughter-in-law, but purely humanly Harry could be understood. If a boy lacks warmth and love at home, then sooner or later he will look for it on the side to fill the gaps. Sister-in-law Gloria was a rigid and uncompromising person, with her own bullheaded principles, and it was extremely difficult to have affectionate feelings for such a person. Patricia didn't. 7 years ago she had accepted her son's choice and tried to keep a thin peace in relations with her daughter-in-law, which was not easy, and if she had been a more characteristic and proud mother-in-law, there would have been war and complete lack of contact. But Patricia had a soft and pliable disposition. She swallowed her sister-in-law's harshness and let her unpleasant remarks about herself pass her ears. Did you bring the salad? What's this? Meat? It's so fatty. Gloria wrinkled her nose at her eldest grandson's birthday party. That time, wanting to help her daughter-in-law, Patricia had fiddled with a couple of complicated dishes at home and brought them to the party. Why so much mayonnaise in the salad? And I don't like green olives. Oh, okay. I hope you didn't bake the cake yourself. Christopher has a sensitive digestive system, and if there's any bacteria in there. I don't think you were very hygienic. No, I'm not giving that cake to the baby. Let the grown-ups eat it. My daughter-in-law's directness was off the charts. Patricia rushed to warm up the cooled dish, but she was stopped by Gloria. Oh, for God's sake, Patricia, don't come near my stove, I won't be able to clean it after you. You're so rude. And Patricia doesn't say a word. As long as we live together as a family. And even now, despite her daughter-in-law's blatant insolence and her unsightly appearance, spoiled by life and childbirth, Patricia believed that the family should be preserved. How would Gloria be alone with the children? It is clear that no one would kick her out of the apartment, although the housing was bought during the marriage and the bulk of the amount donated by the parents of the groom, because from Gloria's mother and take nothing, there is a naked rolling stone with a lot of children. The son was quiet for 2 weeks and no longer asked to cover for him for the sake of meetings with his mistress. Patricia would have liked to believe that she was done with that girl, if it hadn't been for one thing: a friend, a neighbor, had called to ask if Garrick had married her a second time. She saw a girl walking with Gary in an embrace, and it's definitely not Gloria. This one's hair is long and black. What do you think, friend? Her friend was obviously interested in hearing the latest news, or better yet, in finding out the details of her neighbor's domestic troubles. Patricia joked back, but made her friend promise to keep silent, although the rumors would not reach her sister-in-law, because she had no acquaintances in the city. Patricia decided it was time to nail her son to the wall and find out what his future plans were. Before driving home from the cottage, she decided to casually warn her son of her return. The prospect of catching him in her apartment with his mistress again did not appeal to Patricia. "Harry, you don't have to stop by tomorrow to feed the fish. I'm going home for a few days. I'll be there this afternoon." The son wasn't too happy about the news. He asked his mother what she was doing in the city. "It's better in the country." "I'm just going back, I want to go back to the city." "What do you care where I live?" Patricia was indignant. What a parasite, he's got a nerve. When Patricia arrived home, she made a thorough search of her home. She was looking for evidence so that she could prove it to her son. Putting on her reading glasses, Patricia crawled around the apartment and examined the carpets from every angle and found a long black hair by the bed, thick and strong, like a fishing line for catching a big fish. Going into the bathroom a second time to wash her hands, she suddenly discovered that her efforts were not so necessary. On the shelf with a mirror was a lipstick, naturally someone else's. Pink. Pretty. It looked expensive. The lipstick opened with a click, so Patricia didn't even immediately know how to use it. She'd been in the bathroom twice before and hadn't noticed it. Patricia immediately called her son and asked him in a firm voice to come over. It was Harry's day off. "Here's the thing, Harry," she began earnestly and embarrassed, and crushing a piece of cookie dough on the table to flour. "How are things with you and Gloria? Everything okay?" "Yeah, the same as always," Harry shrugged. "If you mean my wife's chainsaw, it's still working fine." Patricia tilted her head to the side, trying hard to think like a psychologist. "You have to understand her too, it's hard for her to deal with the kids in the household, and even though she's carrying it all on her back, it doesn't mean it's easy for her." "What is she carrying?" "They are only children, but I work, I earn money, and she treats me like an ox on which a field is plowed. They whip that bull and make him go on until he dies, and when I'm out of breath, she'll throw me in the garbage and hire a new one." Harry clapped his fluffy eyelashes so sincerely, so touchingly, the way his mother had kissed them so many times, that Patricia's chest pinched. She thought she saw tears glisten in her son's eyes. "Oh, my God, Harry, no," she took his hand. "You're just tired, son. I don't think it's going to work out with her. The kids. That's what's stopping me. It's not their fault. But you've already found a replacement for her, haven't you?" Patricia asked quietly, though her fervor had diminished considerably because of her pity for her loved one. "What do you mean?" Patricia silently jabbed her finger at the black hair on the other end of the table and held it up to Harry. "Well, and?" Harry stared at her incomprehensibly. "Found it in our apartment." "You brought a girl here." "I didn't bring anyone," the son was outraged, transformed. "Oh, don't lie. Don't lie to your mother. You're taking her to her parents' house, shame on you." "Harry, Mom," but Patricia took out of her pocket another man's lipstick and put it in front of her son. Harry, what an actor, and here he displayed a complete misunderstanding of the plot. "Stop making a fool of me. There was a woman here and I know it. How could you take advantage of my trust and bring me here to my bed?" Harry persisted, dusting himself off and denying everything. He freaked out, jumped up. Patricia blurted out, "I saw her shoes and dress on the floor last time. He had a headache, you see." "Headache? Oh. Liar. He lies to my eyes and doesn't even bat an eye. Yes, I did, and I didn't tell you because I was shocked. And my friend saw you with that girl too. And I know what fishing trip you went on. You have the conscience to drag your own mother into a lie," Patricia shouted in a wailing voice and ran out into the living room. She sat on the sofa and wept. She was offended for herself, and for her son, and what to do with her daughter-in-law she still did not know. Why couldn't they do it the right way, divorce and start a new life? Harry wasn't a bastard. Harry sat in the kitchen for about 10 minutes. He came to his mother and sat down next to her, guiltily. "I love that other girl, Mom, but I don't know what to do with Gloria and the kids. I'm afraid that if I get divorced, I won't see my children again, and I can't live without them. What would you do? Oh, give me a break. If your new girlfriend was decent, she wouldn't get mixed up with a married man." "She doesn't know I'm married," Harry admitted. "Even better." They sat in silence for about 5 minutes, looking in different directions. "Do whatever you want, son. If you really can't live with your wife anymore, divorce her. If you love someone else, live with her, rent an apartment, I don't know. If you're a man, you won't share the property with Gloria, you'll leave everything to the kids." "That's what I think." "Well, I haven't made up my mind yet. So you're supporting me. I don't want the kids to grow up without a father, and I don't want you to be unhappy. It's up to you, it's your life. Just please leave me out of it. One more thing. Give me the keys. You won't bring that girl here again." "I won't, I promise, but the fish. When was the last time you looked at them?" "Fish? 2 of them died, swimming belly up. I threw them out. Give me the keys." Close communication with my son stopped for about a month, limited to phone calls. The topic of the mistress neither the son nor the mother no longer raised. Parents were left to wonder and in their hearts still hope that Harry will stay in the family. By the silence that came from her daughter-in-law's side, Patricia realized that everything was still in place. Emboldened by her son's prudence, Patricia decided to celebrate her husband's birthday at home. All the relatives were invited, and her eldest daughter and her family came from out of town. When everyone was already drunk and tipsy, there was dancing. They were mostly children, and there were 7 mischievous children from all the relatives. The eldest of them was already in the 4th grade, and he got the worst of it. Harry's son had gotten so bad that he started showing the kids karate moves. He kicked a 4th grader sitting on the floor in the eye with his heel. It was an accident. His mother scolded him and the boy, taking advantage of the attention of the audience, made an unprecedented hysteria with screaming. The hysteria ended with him grabbing the tablecloth and pulling it, and the glasses standing there tumbled over. They spilled vodka, wine. In general, the most precious drinks. Some of the guests got red stains on their skirts and pants. Harry couldn't take it anymore, so he slapped the brat a couple of times on the soft spot and ordered him to go to the corner. The boy sobered up, though he continued to cry loudly. "How dare you raise your hand to my child?" Gloria yelled. "I'm the one raising him, not you. I gave birth to him, and only I have the right to beat him." All the guests considered such a remark as an insult to Harry. He's a father, no matter how it is. The quarrel between the spouses began, and if Harry could still be calmed down somehow, Gloria was not affected by any words. The fact that Harry dared to argue made her even more angry. Harry would go into the kitchen and she would follow him. Harry would go to the room and she'd follow. Gloria slapped him with a torrent of accusations, and Harry snapped back softly. The end was that Harry decided to leave, and on the threshold he said such words that Patricia shrank and turned pale with horror, fear and shame. "I'm not going to live with you, you crazy woman. Enough with me. We're getting a divorce. You think you're so irreplaceable and I'm not going anywhere. You're wrong, you cow, I've got someone else. I've got a girlfriend. A girlfriend, yes. And you know what? Even my mom knows. And she supports me. Tell me, Mom? Gloria threw an annihilating glance to where her mother-in-law was sitting, but luckily she couldn't see her through the wall between the hallway and the living room. The eyes of all the guests were fixed on Patricia. Patricia, burning with shame, covered her face with her hands. "So that was it," continued, panting, "Harry, live alone, stay in our apartment, and I'm leaving. To the girl I love. She loves me and appreciates me. I won't leave my kids, I'll pay child support. Mom? Thank you for your support. Bye, everybody." Following him, without a word to her mother-in-law, Gloria hailed a cab and left with the kids. Her hands were shaking as she put their hats on, tears dripping. To any attempts to calm her down, Gloria snapped back, "Don't touch me. Don't touch my children. It's been a year since then. You think they're really divorced? Not at all." By some unknown means, Gloria tracked down her husband's mistress. We don't know what she told her or what happened between them. Only the mistress was gone. Harry returned to his family after a few friends. He claimed that Gloria had changed, had become a little softer and more tolerant, or maybe he wanted to think so. Having finished breastfeeding, his wife began to lose weight. Accidentally meeting her son, daughter-in-law and grandchildren at the mall, Patricia had the opportunity to see for herself that Gloria had become well-groomed and slimmer, almost like before giving birth. Unfortunately, they were unable to talk to each other. For a year now, her mother-in-law has become Gloria's most mortal enemy. Thank you for watching. If you liked the story, subscribe to my channel, put likes and press the bell. A lot of new interesting romantic stories are waiting for you in the future.